Okay, so tell me, what is a millennial?
A millennial?
Someone born after 2000, right? Like around 2000? 2015?
Those who were born in the 1990s? Maybe?
Hello, fellow millennial here, Rachel Gaby. Let's talk about the facts. The term millennial is used to describe the most recent generation of young people. Now, there aren't any exact ages or dates that correlate with this generation, but you can assume if you are either between the ages of 18 or 35 right now in the year 2016, you're a millennial.
Welcome to the club.
We have t-shirts. So what does the millennial generation do with all of its free time? What does it do for fun? What does it do with all of its money? And what, pray tell, does all of this have to do with museums?
When was the last time one of you visited a museum?
I'm not gonna let you.
Oh my gosh. Spring tour. We went to the Creation Museum.
I can't remember the last time I sought out a museum myself.
Well, I think it was in high school for me in New York.
We went into a place called the Pink House, and it wasn't necessarily a museum, but it had some items, and they had a couple rooms.
So a museum can be a zoo, right?
That's a good question. What is a museum? According to Webster's Dictionary, a museum is a building in which interesting and valuable things, such as paintings and sculptures, or scientific or historical objects, are collected and shown to the public. Despite the popular appeal of a zoo, or iconic museums like the Met in New York, recent surveys reveal the continuation of a long-term trend of declining museum visits. In fact, amongst 18 to 35-year-olds, participation in the arts is dwindling overall, and museum visitors are growing older. According to a study released in 2015 by the National Endowment for the Arts, between the years 2002 and 2012, museum visitors have dwindled by 58 million. On average, only 13% of 18 to 25-year-olds visited museums in 2012. Amidst all of these facts and statistics, there's a clear message coming forth that art institutes and museums alike have to try to find new ways to engage younger audiences if they want to try to stay relevant and financially stable.
I guess speaking from a perspective of seeing my home museum in North Dakota, I love our museum, but they never really brought anything new into the museum that people were, I think, more highly interested in. A lot of more dinosaurs, I guess.
I feel like I just haven't gone in the past couple of years because of school, wanting to save money on certain things, mainly just buying food for myself. I do like to go, but I don't like to spend the money when I don't have a lot of it.
When was the last time you went to a movie theater?
That's not fair.
Oh,
Couple hours ago.
Did you know that young adult museum visitors are 35% more likely than older visitors to want to explore history through the lens of authentic foods of the past? What? But did you know that 60% of adult millennials don't think they're millennials?
I think so. Sure.
Are we
Really?
millennials?
Yeah, we're millennials.
Okay.
Like,
Maybe millennials aren't willing to admit they're millennials because, well, there's not a lot of nice things people say about us.
One who has to be different than everybody else.
they're always using technology, fast-paced.
Always
they're-
wanting the next thing.
Yeah, they're always like on the go. Yeah, looking for the next best thing.
Being a hipster.
Millennials are so stuck up and so entitled. They think the whole world belongs to them. I'm pretty sure you're a millennial. No, that's impossible. I'm not a millennial. Am I? Being a millennial isn't all bad. Did you know that our generation is considered one of the most diverse, with over 40% of us coming from a minority ethnic group or racial background? In fact, many of the complaints that are often associated with millennials corresponds with traits and characteristics that can actually really benefit museums and institutions in the future. Number one complaint, we are hyper-connected. We're always on Facebook or on our phones. 88% of millennials get their news from social media.
Yep, well, Trump said something stupid again.
So how can this hyper-awareness and connection benefit museums? Connectedness can increase positive word-of-mouth endorsement for museums.
That's cool. Hey guys, did you know that the 5 Point Museum does an annual quilt show? Maybe I should pick up quilting.
Millennials are often accused of oversharing, but if engaged in an appropriate way, our casual demeanors and social behaviors can bring in large crowds to museums. Multiple surveys, for example, have shown that millennials prefer to work and act in groups. Thus, if a museum encourages group engagement and interaction with exhibits, as well as provides a casual environment in which a millennial can explore, then we are more likely to return regularly and with more than a couple of our Facebook friends. Many museums are making the necessary changes to try and get a new generation of museum goers involved in the awesomeness that is your local museum. There is hope. Despite everything, millennials are still visiting museums and making memories that they'll never forget.
I remember one day I was off from work, but I decided to go to the zoo anyway, and they were debuting the new baby giraffe that had been born, and that was just beautiful because they released it, and it was so beautiful, and it was like 6 feet tall, but it was a baby. And it was really cute. That was a good memory.
It was in Minneapolis. It was Minneapolis St. Paul Museum, but they had a showcase called Body Worlds. I believe that's what it was. And it was basically like this. It was biology, but they were human bodies that were, all the flesh was gone except for the veins and the muscles. It was so cool. It was so cool. It was a human with just veins. It talked about all the different structures of like the heart and your blood vessels and how everything works. And it just really amazed me because I never saw anything like that before. So it was really cool. Like when he sits in coffee shops for like 7 hours not doing anything, probably like say they're doing homework, but they're actually on Tumblr. So
You just described me. That's okay. Whatever.